Welcome YouTube family and welcome to another video of the Kevin Strong Show. And in this video, we're going to talk about how Americans are actually in denial about their freedom. Has it gone away? Are the walls closing in on us? I think they are. You guys know I'm a proponent of possibly looking at living overseas because so many things are changing in America, but we're not going to talk about my overseas plans in the future. We're going to talk about how I think the average American is just comfortably numb. Our rights have been taken from us, restrictions, access to cash. And we're going to talk about something that's called a freedom index. And you're going to be shocked to see how far down that list the United States has fallen. So if you're new to my show, welcome. Let's start off by saying hit and smash that like button, hit the bell notification so you are notified when I do release my videos, which is typically once a week. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this. I think this is very interesting. I'm gonna go over a couple slides and then we're gonna slowly transition over to something on YouTube. And as always, I'm going to offer my editorial 2 cents. So let's go ahead and get this teed up. Let's see here, go back to the beginning. And like I said, we're calling this, are you free, but still wrapped in chains? Comfortably numb. And I think that's the category for most of us. Here is the Human Freedom Index of 2023. And these are the things that they use to determine how free you are based on a country. So the rule of law, security and safety, you can see all this stuff, movement, religion, association, assembly, expression, size of government, identity, you get the idea here. Property rights, sound money, and talking about the ability to trade internationally. Let's take a pause for a moment and talk about sound money. So I put something in parentheses here: restricted based on appointment and limited cash. Think about, since the healthcare crisis popped off in March of 2020, how restrictive it is to get to your money, to open up an account. To see a banker inside of a bank, you have to set an appointment. If you take a certain amount of money out of your own account, sometimes you're restricted on how much you can take out. Sometimes that can be delayed by weeks or longer. And then they're going to ask you very personal and very private questions like, what do you need the money for? Where is the money going? These are type of things that in some third world countries, they don't even ask such questions. So here are the top 10 countries with the highest human freedom index. You can see Switzerland, New Zealand, you can see all down the line. Denmark, Ireland, even Canada is ranked higher than us. Now, setting the propaganda aside and some of the things that's wrong with our northern partner up there, in aggregate, based on those formulas and those qualities that I started off with, Canada in aggregate has a little bit or a lot more freedom than the United States. It's going to be hard for you to read this. I'm sorry about the text, but basically the United States on this index came in at number 15. Finland is higher, Sweden is higher, the Netherlands, Iceland, Norway. Coming in at number 14, I know it may be a little bit difficult to read, is the United Kingdom. But the United States is ranked 15th in terms of freedom. So what's really going on? Just think about how crazy it is. There's laws in California that, if you work in a retail environment, you're either mandated by law or more specifically your employer that you cannot intervene when somebody's committing a crime, shoplifting. If you shoplift for under $900 in California, and I think in Washington as well, they're considered misdemeanors. All of you have seen on video, online, and on TV, these, I call them mob robs, where these mob of people just go in and just rob everything without any type of consequences. And those who are jailed are either quickly let out or there's no prosecution. So the criminal justice system, there's a bark with no bite to it. 100%. And it's really, really sad because I think it's that proverbial frog in the boiling water that so many of us are familiar with that story or that analogy where the thing is just slowly boiling to death, but it doesn't realize the surrounding that it's sat itself in. I think that's what's happening to us as a country. It's really, really, really sad. Homelessness is going up. You've got all-time debt in terms of student loans, credit cards, people's personal savings. 61% of people basically are living paycheck to paycheck. There was some stat out there. I'm sure you guys have seen it because it's been all over the news. People who make over $100,000 a year, about 45% of those individuals are living paycheck to paycheck. Healthcare is at an all-time low. I've talked about this in previous videos, talking about, hey, please don't confuse about the amount that you pay for your healthcare premium and confuse that with access to immediate quality healthcare. You may brag about, man, I got a great healthcare plan. My prescriptions are only $10 for generic prescriptions, and I only pay $80 a month for my healthcare because my employer kicks in the rest. But when you need a specialist, you get moved into that bureaucratic system, which is the United States healthcare system. So now it takes 2, 3, 4 months for you to see a specialist. That's not quality healthcare. You need affordable and quality healthcare. Those two components have to work together. One without the other is like a table with 3 legs. It ultimately just falls to the ground. Now I'm going to slowly transition over here and share my screen and show you something that Glenn Beck was talking about, not making a political inference about where he leans, obviously more to the right. But I just thought it was a profound point that he was making that feeds into this narrative of this video, talking about how just the American society is declining. And here we go.
Anymore. Cheap and abundant energy is going away. Look at the American workforce today. You're killing your entrepreneurs. You're calling anybody that is paying taxes now a thief. Remember, 61% of the people that paid, 61% of the American public did not pay any federal income tax in 2020.
Hello.
Or is it 2021?
2020.
2020. Mm-hmm. So no federal income tax, 61%. Now, I would say, well, that's because of COVID and everything else. But are they doing things to get people back to work to pay taxes? The answer is no. And what are they doing? The 39% that did pay tax, those are entrepreneurs to the billionaires. Those people, they're under attack. Their businesses are under attack, unless you're a big Home Depot style business. If you're a local entrepreneur, you have been under attack by this government.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it there. I happen to agree with that. Small business used to be a sense of pride in America, just like home ownership. Small business has been decimated in the last 2 or 3 years. All of us who follow stuff like this, we're hearing things like back in 2020 and 2021, that 50 and 60% of those businesses that were going out of business because of the healthcare crisis were permanently going out of business. They were never coming back. Small business is basically getting destroyed. The middle class is getting destroyed. People are getting crazy increases on their healthcare, their homeowners insurance. Florida's a mess. California's a mess. This stuff is spreading in every aspect of our society. It's going and reaching deep into our pockets, and it's pulling everything out to include the goddamn change. They don't even want to leave you with a couple of nickels to rub together. So this is really, really, really getting sad. I think people need to wake up and become conscious of their surroundings, become conscious that their standard of living is slowly going away. There are options abroad. I'm not going to go down that road because that's not the intent of this particular video, but I'm here to tell you, you need to open up your eyes and your mind and figure out where to go, who's going to treat you the best with lower taxes and a quality of life. There is no, and I repeat, there is no honor in poverty, and there's no honor in overpaying for something because you have the money. Right? So for those of you who live in the Seattle area, before I close out the video, Places like Bellevue, Mercer Island, and Redmond are very, very affluent, nice areas. And to have a really nice area or let's say a home on the water, it might cost you $2 million, might cost you $3 million. You go somewhere, another part of the country, that same house might only cost you $300,000. If you want to rent, as some of you who've seen my other videos, you can get beachfront property renting for $1,500 US. So to me, that's the biggest bang for your buck. So to finally give you another analogy to drive home the point, I'll give you a car analogy. If you have a Mercedes that costs you a convertible Mercedes that costs you $140,000, and you can afford it, so you're bragging about it, and I get that same car somewhere else in the world, and I'm only paying $35,000 for it. Who's ahead of the game? Okay, you can afford it, but so what? I have the exact same car, the exact same quality of life at a much, much cheaper price. Not to mention, there's a lot of places that people perceive as being unsafe. But we have become comfortably numb as a nation, seeing people run into department stores, stealing. You see all of these people in San Francisco, when they park their cars downtown, they just roll their windows down so somebody doesn't bust their windows and try to get something inside of the vehicle. This is asinine, ASA 10, ASA 11. You just cannot make this crap up. But we'll look at something else from all the propaganda and all the marketing that's been brainwashing us for years and make us think that somewhere else can't be better than the United States. I say bullshit. It's time to open up and wake up. And for those of you who say, oh, Kevin, oh, you're just fear mongering and all this other stuff, and if you don't like it, you should go somewhere else. Well, damn it, that's the plan. And I'm working on it. But I would respectfully push back at those who are in that camp by saying you have the right as an American citizen not only to criticize shit, but to go somewhere else. Because guess what? The United States is only one of few countries that tax your ass based on naturally born in the country. You can be born here, haven't been here for 60 years, and if you haven't renounced your citizenship, you're still mandated to file a U.S. tax return every year. So stop telling somebody, well, you just need to go to another country if you don't like it here. If you're still reaching in my pockets and I haven't been here 60 years, I got every right to feel and say whatever the hell I want. Because guess what? Indirectly, I'm still paying U.S. taxes. So it's a sad case that people don't want to go back to work. I see grown-ass men getting on TikTok and social media talking about how hard it is. Homie, if you're going to be the man of your family, you're the last person that need to be whining about how things are, because your significant other is looking at you to figure out what's going on. So I'm going to end this video with my famous slogan, keep your credit score up and your debt down. Once again, please hit that like button, subscribe, share the video. I hope you enjoyed this content, and I do look forward to seeing you in my next one, and have a great day.